Okay,
The live stream is loading.
got it. Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the very first meeting for the 2026 session of the Howard County Delegation. This morning, we are going to start with a presentation by the Maryland Workforce Association. So here to present is the Executive Director, Brandon Butler, and Stephanie Adibe with the Director of Howard County Workforce. So take it away.
All right. Well, thank you very much for everybody, and what an honor to be with you all for your first meeting of the 2026 legislative session. My name is Brandon Butler, and I serve as the Executive Director of the Maryland Workforce Association, and wanted to just spend a few moments with you to talk about the workforce boards that are throughout Maryland, but also what you have in Howard County with the Office of Workforce Development that Director Stephanie Adibe oversees. So, workforce development, a lot of conversation with the General Assembly has really focused on workforce development over the last few years. I know Delegate Wu had a bill last year regarding apprenticeships. That is a very big, has always been a pretty big topic in Maryland, especially over the last few years, about connecting folks with this earn and learn model that our European colleagues really have a rich history on. But the workforce boards are leading efforts in doing two things. One, providing job seekers with the skills and the opportunities that they need to enter or re-enter back into the workforce, whether that is by loss of jobs or dislocation, whether that is they have barriers to employment, whether they just simply need skills development. And so that's something that Stephanie and her team work on day in and day out. The other is we work with businesses to support their human capital need in order to get folks into that workforce so that businesses can expand. And so again, the Maryland Workforce Association is an association of the 13 local workforce boards, all throughout Maryland, as designated by the Federal Workforce Act. We are we do a number of things, including over the past few years, working on the blueprint for Maryland's future. And just very briefly, in a very small part of the blueprint, but I believe is a truly impactful one, is the fact that workforce boards were written into the blueprint to provide career counseling services to middle school and high school students. And that's a program that Stephanie is working with the local education agency as well as the community college to provide and open the world of work for kids. One of the things that I heard one time, and I've since stolen the line, is that career or college has become a very expensive career exploration tool. For far too long, we've told kids, go to college and find yourself. Well, what happens is ultimately is they do find themselves, and they also find a mountain of debt that's attached to it. And so what we are doing is working with students in middle school and high school to start young, and to start pointing out what their strengths are, and so that a student can find out that, admittedly, they may have thought that they wanted to be a doctor or they wanted to go into medicine, and then somewhere along the way they find out that, hey, I really hate the sight of blood. I'd rather them know that now, instead of going to years of medical school and training and finding out that no, I need a career shift. And so that's something that we are working on as well. So just to kind of, if for no other things, the takeaways, I guess, is that we are here to assist you if you have constituents that just can't find a job, that needs assistance. Stephanie and her team are here to help. And secondly, for bills this legislative session, Stephanie and her team, the Maryland Workforce Association, are truly the boots on the ground when it comes to workforce development. So if you're thinking, we would be happy to have a conversation with you as to any of your thoughts as the session progresses. And of course, I know you all think you have my contact, but we'll make sure that you have that as well. I know Stephanie has a number of other things and some really special stuff that she's doing in Howard County. So I'm going to turn it over to her. Stephanie?
Thank you, Brandon. And I'll just keep it brief. I think you pretty much covered, all of the highlights, but I just wanted to say that I do appreciate the delegation's continued support of workforce initiatives and your partnership in ensuring that Howard County residents and businesses have access to the talent, skills, and opportunities needed to thrive. As Brandon mentioned, our office serves as the county's central hub for connecting people to jobs and businesses to talent. We support job seekers across all ages and backgrounds. Brandon touched on the blueprint. So from youth exploring career pathways to adults reskilling or re-entering the workforce to businesses seeking skilled and reliable workforce, your support helps us to do that every day. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have a question for either of our presenters? Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. It's great to be reminded of the resource available to us, and sounds like you're doing amazing work. So thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Be in touch. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So next up, we have the LBIs to vote on. And I did want to mention that the Waterloo LBI was amended to $500,000 from $350,000. But the plan was to vote on these like a consent calendar, essentially. So I know you've all seen them. Do I have a motion to vote on the LBIs?
Gabe Morano, motion to vote on the LBIs.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Musa.
Courtney has her hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Delegate Watson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to review, in particular because we have a new member, but also for the public, that the fact that we're voting on these bills does not mean these bills are funded.
Right.
It means that we are sending them for evaluation to the Budget Committee. And the truth is that very, very, very few of these will be funded. And if they are funded, they'll be at smaller amounts simply because of the budget crisis that we're facing. So I just wanted to make sure everybody understood that to not get expectations higher than they should be.
Thank you very much. Very important point.
Okay. And I'll call the vote. Delegate Gazzoni,
Yes.
Delegate Hill,
Yes.
Delegate Moreno,
Yes.
Delegate Terrassa,
Yep.
Delegate Watson,
Yes.
Delegate Wu,
Yes.
Delegate Ziegler.
Yes.
Okay, the bonds with the amendment pass.
Thank you. I saw Delegate Terrassa's hand up. Did you have a question?
Well, I mean, we're just doing these as consent, so I guess it doesn't matter, but I was curious as to why the change in the, in that one amount.
I believe it was a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
a rather large mistake, I will admit, but yes. Okay, thank you all very much. So we can move on now to several bills. And I'm going to start with 826, the highways speed limits bill. Delegate Teresa, did you want to share something about that bill?
Sorry. Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. So, this is just for those of us that, well, let me say this. When I represented the county on the county council, we got lots of complaints about people going 25, 35 miles an hour on a very small street where kids play and how dangerous that was. And this really just gives the county the ability to lower it down to 15 with a traffic study. Now, it says highways because, as we all know, but for the public's purpose, it doesn't really mean highways like we think about it, not 32, 95, none of those, or any of those highways, or 95, none of those. It's really about small local roads where our kids and our people are, and so that it's just a little safer for them. But again, this is just gives the county the option to lower that speed limit down.
Thank you. Is there any discussion on the bill?
I'm happy to answer any questions anyone has. Oh,
Delegate Hill?
Yeah, so what I'm trying to figure out, so first of all, what authority does the county have now when people are complaining or people who are going through and it's at risk for the kids and we see the signs up saying children playing in this area and all that, is it that the speed limit's not low enough or they're just not observing it? Or both?
It's probably both, but the problem is that if the speed limit's 25 and it's clearly not safe for somebody to be driving through at 25, the police can't do anything about it. Nobody can be ticketed. They can't do anything about it. So it's a combination of those two things. And the county, we could ask Mr. Schepter if he knows, but to my knowledge, the county doesn't put those slow children at play.
No,
signs.
those are personal
Yeah,
signs. I
those are
think,
people
but-
personally put them up. I worked on this when I was like many years ago. I was our HOA president. And so it's really not safe on my former street to come up there at 25 miles an hour. So somebody might be going 25 miles an hour, but nobody can ticket them and nobody can slow them down in any way, shape, or form legally. So, I mean, it's both. We should be cognizant of the kids in our neighborhood and all the people in our neighborhoods, but this there's a tool involved in this. So
Okay.
theoretically, it could be ticketed for going that fast.
And so, Mr. Schefter, could you tell us how many, if the county chooses to act on this option? Is that, to Delegate Tarasa's point, is this a real problem that we just can't get those limits low enough? Or is there another issue involved here?
My understanding is that the lowest that we can set them at currently is 25. And so this would empower the county after a speed, engineering and traffic investigation to make the decision to lower it in certain areas to as low as 15.
And you don't have any idea of how many streets, or if this is a problem, I mean, that we see a big deal with. I'm just asking.
I don't have any data to back that up at this
Okay.
time.
So, Madam Chair, if I could just respond. This request came from Councilwoman Rigby because they have that problem. They hear about that problem enough for it to be a problem. I will say, as a council member, we heard about speeding on local streets all the time. Now, whether they were all ones that were candidates for 15 miles an hour, I don't know, but for example, small cul-de-sac streets are not appropriate for 25 miles an hour. And we would talk with the engineers and they said, we're not allowed to lower that to 15. So this is really about kid safety. And from my perspective, it happens a lot, but even if it didn't, if we were making it safer for a couple of kids, I think it's worth it to allow the engineers to do an engineering study and decide to lower the speed limit.
All right, thank you. Delegate Wu.
Thank you. So I will play the other side, right? I think like Columbia design to be have this kind of a lot of these product and everywhere in every neighborhood. I'm wondering what the implication for the 15 miles speed limit in the whole 100,000 people living. That's my huge concern. I know like kid safety is something really everybody can say, everybody cares, right? The other side, like 15 miles, is really low, I would say.
Well-
So I just want like, how about what happened if the council said 10 miles, right? Where's the limit there?
To be clear, though, this is not enabling for the council. This doesn't say the council, you can lower the speed limit on all of the streets. This says that the county engineers have a tool to lower the speed limit where they think it's appropriate and where they pay for it, where there's a engineering study. So they would have to decide to do an engineering study because they have enough concerns about the street and do it. This is not a county council enabling legislation. And it would not apply to all the streets in Columbia.
Thank you, Delegate Watson.
So I just want to make sure I have this straight, Delegate Trezza. So this is enabling legislation for Howard County.
I mean, the word enabling is not your typical enabling legislation. It's not, unless I'm confused somehow. I'm looking at it really quickly. But this is not enabling in the sense that it enables the county to pass a law. It enables the county to do traffic studies and make the roads safer.
It allows the county to reduce the speed to 15 miles per hour, which they do not have the ability to do now. Is that right?
Yes.
But at their discretion.
At their discretion after a traffic study.
Okay, thank you.
I must say that in environment and transportation, we hear a lot of requests from municipalities for something like this. There are a lot of places where they feel that the residential streets, the speed limit is too high. I think in part because people add 10 miles in their head to the speed limit. You know, so if it says 25, people are going 35.
And can I just ask a follow-up? Are there any other counties that do this, Delegate Trezza?
I'm gonna turn, it looks like Mr. Moriarty has an answer to that.
Yes, Anne Arundel and Montgomery County.
Oh, right. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, this just adds us to that part of the, thank you. I'm sorry, I forgot all. Yes, it adds us to a section of the code where those two counties are.
And do you know how long they've had the ability and or how often they've used it?
I do not know how often it's been used. I do know that Anne Arundel County was given the ability in 2024. It was chapter 468. I would need to double check for Montgomery County, but I can do that quickly.
2024.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion?
I would like to hold this bill just because what I would like to know, if possible, is how long it's been in effect in Montgomery. And for both counties, how often they have they actually changed any roads and what have been the results intended or unintended. And I think I'm not opposed to this bill, but I think it would be good to have that information to make sure we're not missing anything.
So obviously
sorry.
that's at the discretion of the chairs, and I'm assuming that we would do that. But I guess I'd like to understand how those answers would change, whether you want to give a tool to make our roads safer to the counties.
Well, on the face of it, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the face of it, I don't have an objection, but I do know that oftentimes things that sound good have unintended consequences. And I just want to be sure that we're not missing any of those. And I think getting the feedback from the two counties doesn't really impact our timeline here, and it would be helpful.
Okay, okay.
Delegate Hill.
Thank you. And along those lines, Mr. Morty, I'm noting that the way the bill's written, we've simply added Howard County on page 3 to line 20. That section goes on to talk about on 2.3 there on the next page, line 1, a local authority may not implement a new speed monitoring system to enforce speed laws on any portion of a highway for which the speed limit has been decreased. And I guess I'm wanting to know, why are we, in other words, if part of the problem is that they're not low enough and part of the problem is people disregard them, if we allow this and they lower it to 15 and our communities are supposed to be safer, particularly our residential small streets, but we can't track them unless we have a police officer posted, why would we want to, can you explain what the purpose of that particular paragraph is? It seems like then we can't really enforce it very readily without some extensive cost.
So I will say that the discussion on whether or not to authorize new speed cameras, I mean, it's a policy question, so I don't really want to get into that. I will say it's new, so if there was an existing speed camera on that road, it could be used to enforce it. Otherwise, it would be a police presence, as you mentioned, to
Okay,
enforce this.
so in effect, since we already allow speed cameras within a mile of a school, this would effectively limit the ability to lower in a cul-de-sac or a small street or a dead end or whatever, or any street where this was an issue where kids need to play, to only those within a mile of a school. Is that my understanding of the effect of this as written?
No, it could be done on any highway, but a new speed camera could not be put in.
Right, so you couldn't enforce it except by a live person. So you could change it all you want, but you wouldn't really be able to.
You could
enforce
not place a new speed camera at that location.
it. Okay, so yeah, so I just wanted to, Delegate Terrassa, I'm sorry, I didn't look at that earlier. And I just didn't know if that was your intention, that we can change and something to think about if the chair decides to hold this, that we can change it and lower it, but it's not really enforceable.
Was that a question?
I just wanted to make sure, because I hadn't noticed that before, that if the bill's going to be held, that you may want to give consideration to if you want to give it unenforced.
I appreciate that. I mean, my intention is to give the county a tool in response to Councilwoman Rigby hearing much of what I heard when I was on the county council.
We're giving them a tool. We might want to give them one that we can actually enforce.
I mean, to be clear, they can enforce it. They just can't put a speed camera there. A lot of times what the county does when you can't put a speed camera, I'm sorry, a speed camera, like a photo enforced speed camera, is they put up those signboards. Communities request those all the time. The ones that, and by the signboard, for everybody's purposes, are like signs that say, this is how fast you're going. Just to give a reminder to people. I mean, all these things are tools in the chest to slow people down and make people mindful. And just like those signs that you were talking about, or I think it was you that was talking about the signs that say slow children at play. They're all tools in the toolbox. But I appreciate the suggestion.
Mr. Moriarty.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just I wanted to note the authorization was granted to Montgomery County in 2021. Just to come back to Delegate Watson's question.
Thank you. Okay, well, it looks as though the right thing to do is to hold this bill. I think there were too many questions to take a vote. So we're going to move on to Howard County 926 speed monitoring systems. And Delegate Hill, do you want to talk about that bill briefly?
Essentially, and I know we have a new member, this is a bill that the delegation worked through last year and is being reintroduced in essentially the same format with some minor changes to make sure that it complies with standards that the Environment and Transportation Committee likes to see uniform for similar bills. And in essence, it's to allow for placement of a speed camera, a fixed speed camera outside of a 1 mile school district if a county or state study net zero has shown that a particular area of a highway has a high rate of accidents, speed-related accidents and deaths, including pedestrian or bike deaths, and it has been narrowed enough so that it would only apply to Route 1 in Howard County.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Are there questions on the bill? Delegate Watson.
Delegate Hill, how was it narrowed specifically to basically only apply to Route 1?
Let me pull that up. Oh, it was narrowed because, hold on, it was the Senate amendment from last year. Hold on, let me find out. While I'm looking for Mr. Moriarty, are you able to speak to that faster than I can?
Yeah, so there's a couple of so last year it was House Bill 1311, Howard County 925. A couple of changes between this bill and that bill. One being the use of the fines collected as a result of the speed cameras that were put in last year's bill could be used for public safety purposes and for the funding of deferred maintenance work in Howard County. This year's bill is just for public safety purposes. And then looking through the areas in which speed cameras are now authorized, it's on a highway in a residential district with a maximum posted speed limit of 35 miles per hour. And then on a highway identified in the county or state's most recent strategic highway safety plan or Vision Zero plan as a highway that is at high risk for motor vehicle crashes, including those involving pedestrians or non-motorized vehicles that result in serious bodily injury or death. And then finally on Route 1, but only in Howard County.
Yeah.
I will also note that there's a 5-year sunset on this bill.
Right. And I see your point, Delegate Watson, and I think, I'm not sure how I didn't review it as well as I should have, that the restriction that the Senate put on it last year does not seem to be here.
So is it meant for, I'm just a little bit confused. Is it meant for county roads or state roads or both?
It was meant for both.
Okay.
And yes. It's
Okay,
meant for both.
but the county is the one that would employ this on state roads?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the reason I'm asking is, you know, last year's version was, I thought, really, really broad, but I wonder if this is too narrow in the sense that in my district, we have quite a problem on Route 144 going into Old Town Ellicott City, where there are houses, you know, that pretty much abut the road, constant complaining there. And so I think I would want the ability for the county to evaluate that particular situation as part of this. And I don't know how we would work that in.
Well, I will say that last year it was your senator who did not want it to apply to any roads in the district.
Well, that may be.
So we can use, I mean, we can certainly,
I mean, look, I think that's irrelevant to what I'm saying right now, because I will have a conversation, obviously, with my district mates, and they can take it out too.
And I think 144 might apply because if it has been identified in a Vision Zero plan as being at high risk, right? Because it's A or B, I think it could still apply to that or any other road that is identified.
If that's the case, can we get someone to confirm that?
Okay. Can we do that, Mr. Moriarty?
Or
I'll look into that.
Okay. And then the other issue, I think, for this delegation, we essentially, again, tried to present it as last year. I think, again, this is enabling. I don't like the fact that there's a 5-year sunset on it. So, but I'm not going to, it took a lot to get this out last year. So I was not independently going to work against the members of this delegation if it's the feeling that there should be a sunset on this. I personally would be fine with removing the sunset.
Thank you, Delegate Hill. Is there further discussion? I see Delegate Watson's hand is up, but maybe it's just still up. I think maybe it's just still up. I think we may have to hold this bill as well, unfortunately. The good news is that we do have those pretty clearly delineated standards for speed cameras that we can work with. And I think that makes things a little easier. I agree with you, Delegate Hill, personally, that I would like to see the sunset taken off as well.
Can I make a motion on that before we hold the bill so we can at least see what the sense of this delegation is about? So I would move to remove the sunset and get clarification on what it is that we're asking to be discussed at the next time. I think it's Delegate Watson's question. I just want to know if we need any experts to come in to address that, or if Mr. Moriarty would be able to research better and let us know whether that would allow for the specific road that Delegate Watson is concerned about, or any other roads to be.
Mr. Moriarty? Can you answer that question, or do we need to look further afield?
I would need to look further into it in terms of
Okay.
the specific road.
Second the motion.
Okay. Before we move to remove the sunset, Delegate Kazoni has her hand up.
Yeah, I'm just curious about the sunset because wouldn't that affect Montgomery County and Anne Arundel County also?
No,
I'm really curious. I don't know.
it would not.
Okay.
The sunset would just be for the changes in this bill, which were only relating to Howard County. So the existing statute would be untouched.
So I'm assuming the existing statute did not have a sunset?
I do not believe so. I would need
Then
to
I'm
check.
in agreement that we should take that out.
Okay.
I will
Do I
double
hear a
check that.
motion?
Debbie. Sorry.
Do I hear a motion to that effect?
I moved,
So we
and the Delegate Tarasa seconded it.
Great, thank you very much. Musa, do you want to call the roll?
So the motion is to remove the sunset from Howard County 926. Delegate Gazoni,
Yes.
Delegate Hill,
Yes.
Delegate Moreno,
Yes.
Delegate Tarasa,
yes.
Delegate Watson,
You're
You're
muted.
on mute.
Yes. Yes.
Delegate Wu,
Yes.
Chair Ziegler.
Yes.
The motion passes.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, next we have, I did want to say quickly, Delegate Moreno, you do need to be on camera to vote.
Sorry about-
Thanks very much. You can be off otherwise. Okay, next we have HOCO 226, alcoholic beverages. This is Delegate Feldmark's bill. She could not be with us this morning. I thought we could discuss it. I understand there are some questions. She sent me some talking points, so I will attempt to stand in for her. Essentially, this is a bill that would allow a bottle of wine to go into a gift basket. And it came from discussions with particularly local florists who really struggle to compete with the big national online florists. And they thought it would be helpful to them if they could add a bottle of wine to a gift basket, which seemed like a perfectly reasonable idea, just to add some flexibility and a bit of a boost to small businesses in Howard County. So, is there discussion on the bill? Delegate Moreno.
Is there a reason it was just specifically wine and not included also like a, I don't know, 6-pack of beer or something? Does anybody know?
I do not know the answer to that question. I'm sorry. That does, I could certainly see I could certainly see it saying wine and beer. Mr. Moriarty.
So on page 3 of the bill, it provides limits for beer, wine, and for liquor.
Wonderful,
So
thank
it's
you.
not more than 72 ounces of beer, 2.25 liters of wine, and again 2.25 liters of liquor.
Thank you. Delegate
you.
Wu.
I think it is a good idea. So if it's time to vote, I can move to vote on this bill.
Is there further discussion? Wonderful. So we have a motion to vote on the bill. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Musa, can you call the roll?
The motion is to vote on Howard County 226. Delegate Guzzoni,
Yes.
Delegate Hill,
Yes.
Delegate Moreno,
Yes.
Delegate Terrassa,
Yes.
Delegate Watson,
Yes.
Delegate Wu,
Yes.
Chair Ziegler.
Yes.
HOCO 226 passes.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, wonderful. Next, we have again a Delegate Feldmark bill 1226, which effectively changes the name of the Agricultural Land Preservation Program to, oh my old eyes, the Agriculture and Innovation Program. Let me look this, I'm sorry.
Madam Chair, just to so it changes the name of the fund, not the name of the
fund.
program.
Okay,
The
thank you.
program was all enacted at county level.
Do you have the name of it in front of you?
It's changing the name from the Howard County Agricultural Land Preservation Fund to the Howard County Agricultural Preservation and Innovation Fund.
Right.
And then it is just clarifying the use of the fund.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Is there discussion on the bill?
What was the purpose of the change? Or the need for the change?
The need for the change is that I think that the land preservation program has pretty much already preserved most of the land that it makes any sense to preserve. So now their main thrust is to make sure that the farmers survive as well as the farms.
Got it.
And yeah, so it's moving its mission over to helping farmers innovate, diversify, and try and stay profitable too.
So specifically, it's agricultural land innovation.
Yes.
It's not innovation of any type.
No. So here's what Delegate Feldmark said. When we think about the future of agriculture in Howard County, preserving the farmland itself is absolutely essential, and the county has made significant progress through the land preservation program. It's also important to focus on preserving agriculture as an industry, helping farmers expand and diversify their business, strengthen their commercial viability, improve their environmental sustainability. The bill recognizes the county's need to take a broader approach to supporting agriculture and updates the state authorization for this fund accordingly. Delegate Guzzoni.
Yeah, I probably don't actually need to say anything now that you just said that, but the actual language in the bill says to support the Agricultural Land Preservation Program and other programs, services, or initiatives to enhance the commercial viability or environmental sustainability of agriculture in the county.
Perfect.
Did you have another question, Delegate Guzzoni?
Nope.
Okay, thank you. Do I hear a motion to vote on the bill?
Move approval of the bill.
Second.
Thank you very much. Musa, do you want to take the roll?
Can I have the second again?
Terry Hill.
Okay, thank you. This is a vote on HOCO 1226. Delegate Guzzoni,
Yes.
Delegate Hill,
Yes.
Delegate Moreno,
Yes.
Delegate Tuasa,
Yep.
Delegate Watson,
Yes.
Delegate Wu,
Yes.
Chair Ziegler.
Yes.
HOCO 1226 passes.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. We got some work done today, and I'll see you all next Wednesday at 8:30. Thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.